Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back with another video. Today we're talking about ONDO Finance, what's happening with ONDO in real world asset tokenization. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin waiting for you in the description of this video. Go ahead and grab it. And let's dive in and talk about ONDO. Okay, so if we look at the price action for ONDO from the past few months, we're looking at a little bit of a mixed bag here right now, and I would prefer to see ONDO moving a little bit higher on a percentage basis. But let's look at the positives first and foremost. Obviously, we had a really big run up here in Q4, getting as high as $2.14 in December, after that run up in the immediate aftermath of the US election. From there, we've seen ONDO moving to the downside and not really getting anywhere close to those previous highs over the past few months. We consolidated below the 200-day simple moving average here. But on the positive side, what we've seen over the past few weeks since this 7th or 8th of July is a breakout of the downtrend we'd been in for an extended period of over 6 months. And we started moving back up towards the 200-day simple moving average. We actually broke above the 200-day SMA. We came back down for a retest. And as you can see from right now on the chart, we did not manage to hold that retest. We've broken back below it. We're currently sitting at around 96 cents per ONDO token. Now, does this bode well for the medium to long term? I think we need to wait and see what's going to happen. It's not great for the short term when you see many other major crypto assets reclaiming their 200-day simple moving averages over the past couple of weeks and beginning to kick on to move higher. I'm talking about Ethereum, obviously Bitcoin sitting way above its 200-day simple moving average, even Solana reclaiming that 200-day and continuing to move a little bit higher here. So ONDO, as an asset, I would love to see it moving higher, reclaiming that 200-day and kicking on to really give me some good strength here. But it's a reflection of what's happening with altcoins in general, and we're struggling to see altcoins really moving into that altcoin season. We've seen Bitcoin dominance breaking to the downside, but we're seeing a move very similar to what happened back in November, where we broke to the downside for a couple of weeks and then we shot back up to reclaim the 200-day with a higher low. We've just put in a higher low and we're creeping back towards the 200-day for Bitcoin dominance, which means it's just more difficult for those mid-cap tokens like ONDO to move and kick on to move higher, both in US dollar terms and when priced in Bitcoin terms as well. So we have to wait and see what's going to happen. If we compare ONDO to Bitcoin on the chart here, bringing up an ONDO to BTC chart, you can see that we're struggling to get any kind of momentum moving to the upside. We had a little bit of a run here with a small period of outperformance for ONDO against Bitcoin of about 50%, but we're pulling back to the downside. And if we measure this on a percentage basis for this extended period from those highs back in December, we can see that technically speaking, ONDO is down about 59% against Bitcoin over the past 227 days. Again, the only reason I want to invest in anything other than Bitcoin is because I think it has the potential to outperform Bitcoin on a percentage basis. But all hope is not lost for ONDO, because real-world asset tokenization has been one of the strongest narratives over the past year. We've seen big moves in the past month in the RWA space. And when I jump over to rwa.xyz to get a pulse on what's happening here with tokenized US treasuries, ONDO is still one of the leading protocols being leveraged by BlackRock and their Biddle fund for the tokenization of US treasuries on blockchain technology. The BlackRock Biddle fund specifically has grown from about $40 million in TVL to over $2.4 billion in size over the past 15 to 16 months. And if I scroll down here and look at the top entities that are being used for the tokenization of US treasuries, ONDO is the second largest entity being used for the tokenization of those treasuries. If we double click into ONDO on a deeper level, we can see there's over $1.36 billion worth of tokenized assets using ONDO. They're institutional grade, blockchain enablement for RWA. This trend is very, very healthy. This is what I like to see when I'm looking at on-chain data, understanding these protocols from a fundamental level, but also what's happening on a practical level in terms of adoption and in terms of growth. And this growth is a very steady amount of growth here, going back to 2023, moving into 2024 with their OUSG and USDY products. We'll take a look at those in a moment, but very consistent growth in terms of the adoption of those products from an on-chain perspective. And this is what is getting me excited about the potential for ONDO over the coming months. Again, backing from BlackRock, partnerships with BlackRock, being leveraged to tokenize US treasuries on leading chains like Ethereum and like Solana that make up the vast bulk of what's happening there with ONDO, but also a little bit of stuff happening on XRP, Mantle, and Aptos, and not so much with Arbitrum, Mantra, and Polygon. So definitely interesting to see the mix of what's happening there. And if we jump over to Flux Finance, which is ONDO's native lending and borrowing protocol, we can see the ability for institutions now to be having and using certain ONDO products as collateral and borrowing against them across multiple different markets. You've got the ability for USDC, USDT, DAI, FRAX, etc. If we jump into the markets area, we can see there's a modest supply balance here and a modest borrow balance as well. We're still needing to see more adoption with Flux and their TVL growth, but you can see the OUSG product here as well and how it's being leveraged for the tokenization of those US treasuries we just referenced a few moments ago. Again, real world asset tokenization as a narrative in general is on the rise. And I think we're only going to see more adoption for ONDO, more adoption for different protocols in this space that are at the forefront of this RWA narrative. Again, Centrifuge, a smaller protocol. You're also seeing stuff happening with Securitize. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you want an update on either of those protocols from an RWA perspective as well. But if I jump over to my Miro board, the last time I made a price target update for ONDO, I was discussing the possibility of us going to $5 trillion, $7 trillion, and $9 trillion, respectively, in a bear case, base case, and bull case target for total crypto market cap, and then projecting out where ONDO could get to from a market dominance standpoint. If we were to get up to a $15 billion market cap and ONDO getting to a $5 trillion market cap and ONDO getting to 0.3 dominance, that would give us an ONDO price target somewhere around $4.41, which is really just pretty much a 2x from those previous all-time highs that we referenced around $2.14. Jumping back to the base case, if we get crypto market cap all the way up to $7 trillion by the peak, and if ONDO can achieve 0.4% dominance, that's going to give us a target price around $8.20. And then in the most bullish case scenario, if we could get up to $9 trillion, that's going to give us a potential ONDO price of about $13.76. So this target analysis, this is a couple of months old at this point, guys. If you want an updated price prediction for ONDO, drop a comment below this video. If there is enough comments, I will make an updated price prediction and price target for ONDO in my bear case, base case, and bull case price scenario. Drop a comment below this video and I will put that together. A lot of that is predicated on ONDO's dominance. I'm not sure if we have an ONDO dominance chart here directly on TradingView. We do, but as you can see, that dominance very much in a downtrend over the past number of months. ONDO losing market share against the rest of the crypto market. Yes, it has ticked up a little bit since these lows at the middle of June, but we need to see this momentum continuing to the upside. Let's see if we can hold this particular trend line and move ONDO back towards those 0.15% dominance highs. That would be what's needed for us to really get towards this base case and maybe even the bull case if we see ONDO achieving those kinds of levels and moving even higher with market momentum and total crypto market cap over the coming months. So drop a comment below this video, guys. Do you want an updated price prediction for ONDO? Let me know in the comments. That is it for today's video, guys. Remember, if you got any value out of today's ONDO analysis, please just take 3 seconds right now, smash that thumbs up button below, give the video a like before you leave. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and just like I said at the beginning, you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin in the description. Make sure to grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.